Hi there, this is Shoe Rainer at the Shoe Rainer Drawing School, and today I'm going to show you how to draw handbags. Handbags? Let's not talk about it. Let's do it! Why on earth would I want to draw a handbag? Well, I don't know. I was just walking into town earlier today, and where should I start? About here. I was walking into town earlier, and does that fit about right? Yeah. I just saw handbags in the window and I thought that was an interesting shape. So handbags are basically a box. So if you kind of draw a box like that, and this will work for all sorts of things. So if you're a boy, don't be shy, because this kind of drawing kind of idea kind of works for lots of different things. So basically that's your handbag. It's a box that you put things in, but it's soft, so it becomes a bag. Now if you kind of take that point there and draw a curve, and then along the top line there, that will go there, and then you draw a curve, then that's kind of a handbag shape, and you can maybe soften those curves. And what kind of a handbag? Let's make that a bit gentler over the top, and kind of have a flap coming over the top like that. That will probably be in there like that, something like that. And some kind of clasp on the side, and then you're going to have the handle, which will, you'll see something like that. Okay. So that's one. Now, I've been reading a book that was recommended to me by my YouTube friend Stan Batar, with 2 A's on the end, which is called Learn to Think Like Leonardo, which is very, very interesting. I had to get it. I think it's out of print. I had to get it sent over from the States, from Amazon. And one thing there, Leonardo says, draw things from 3 angles. So that's what I'm going to do. And drawing things from 3 angles kind of makes you look at the things differently, which is a good thing. Hang on, now I'm just trying to get this fitting in the camera. So there we go. So this time I'm going to draw a box. I'm going to draw more of a squarey kind of longer box, and I'm going to make it more rounded like that, and it'll tend to sag a bit as well as it goes round, because and then that will tend to sag a little. And let's bring the lid of the bag over like that, and put a buckle on it or something like there. And again, let's put a buckle or something on there, and that'll again go something like that, and we'll see that kind of coming around on itself there. And we'll just see if we can squeeze another one in. Should we do one from a really weird angle? So this is actually very light one. So this is, now I'm not going to bother with the box because you kind of got the idea of it. And this, so from that side, you're going to get 2 handles going up there, and you're going to get kind of 2 handles coming up from this side, and then you've got a kind of a clasp thing along the top, which is very like my handbag my mother had for many years. Okay, I think that's all kind of fitting it. Now I'll draw it in ink, and I'll put some kind of a clasp in there. So I think one thing about drawing is it doesn't really matter what you draw, as long as you draw something. I'm sorry, I should have got prepared with names and everything. Somebody the other day saying, how do I practice? Everybody keeps telling me I must practice. But how do I practice? And the first thing about practicing is whatever you do, you must do it every single day. That's the thing about practice. Drawing is a skill, and you improve your skills, whether it be football, playing the violin, or singing, dancing, anything, by practicing every day. And basically what you're doing is setting up habits. And if you start off with bad habits, you're going to continue with bad habits, of course, which makes it difficult, and then you've got to unlearn them all if you want to get any better. So starting off with good habits is really good, and one good habit to get into is, if you want to draw, is just to draw something every day. It doesn't really matter what, even if it's a handbag and you think, I'm a boy, I don't do handbags. It Doesn't matter. If you see something and you think, that's an interesting shape, just kind of draw it and understand it. So I think that's the other thing is if you draw something every day, don't just draw it. Understand what you're doing and be inquisitive. I think that's another kind of Da Vinci kind of thing. Just kind of keep asking questions and be interested. Ask questions all the time. How does that curve work like that? Why does that work like that? So now the strap here, this is something, you see, which again is kind of really kind of difficult to do, especially since I'm pressing too hard and my pen is being drawn into grooves in the table underneath. It's kind of getting this flow, and the only way to do that is just to keep drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. And but I hope you love drawing so much. Now you can want a little thing like that. I suppose I've drawn a million pirate buckles before that I've kind of learned how they are put together so that I can just draw it like that without really thinking too much. And I haven't got anything in front of me. I'm not copying. I'm not. Haven't got any reference. This is all out of my head. Mostly, I should think, because I've drawn these kind of shapes before, and I kind of know how buckles work. Probably because I've done pirate books and things like that. Pirates always have lots of buckles. So, and I think that's one thing about being an illustrator. I think is, you kind of have to be interested in lots of different things and not think, oh, that's for girls or whatever. And you just have to kind of, well, I mean, one thing about being an illustrator, you just have to learn to draw everything, and not be afraid about what you're drawing. And just think, okay, I've never drawn that before, but I'll have a go. And you go off and you find books and you find pictures and you study and you analyse what it is you're trying to draw, and I don't know, it kind of comes together somehow. And there we go. So, as I say, you know, these straps, I'm going to making them up as I go along. The curves aren't very good where it kind of comes into it there, but I think that's because the grain of the table underneath the piece of paper is making my pen go a bit wobbly. Excuses. Bad workman always blames his tools. I think the secret to that would just be go a bit more slowly, but again, I have the time constraint. I can see the time, 8 minutes, and that's kind of ticking away in my mind. So that will be kind of going something like that, I think. So I'll take that around there, and so I think my mum's handbag is actually alligator skin or something, which you wouldn't be allowed anymore. But I think it's very, very old and from the days when people did that kind of thing. I suppose they probably still do on the black market. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do alligator skin, crocodile skin handbags anymore, unless they're kind of sustainably farmed crocodiles. Sounds a bit unlikely to me. And a bit of something like that, and a bit of shading around the back there. And that's kind of basically it, I think. Yeah, so I'll just put a bit of, so they're not quite 3 angles. I think I meant to do that from a slightly different angle, but never mind. So we'll put a bit of shading to, just going to place it on the table like that, and a bit around the back there like that. Good. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. It was just a little thought. As I said, I was just walking into town and I thought, what shall I do today? I just caught these handbags in the window. And there you go. how to draw handbags. If you enjoyed that, keep coming back to the Shoe Rainer Drawing channel on YouTube. And hang on, I'll just put a little bit of shading in there as well, maybe. And where I'll be having lots more videos and stuff like that. And in the meantime, you keep on drawing, you keep on practicing again and again and again, different angles. And I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.